And sometimes for women in particular, sometimes when I ask them what they want, that's the most terrifying question of all. I don't know what I want. I don't know, like, am I allowed to know am I allowed to want? Well, you said some beautiful words, patterns. Whenever we say the word pattern, that's just letting us know that that's just a subconscious belief pattern program. And if I'm repeating the same program and pattern and the same cycle over and over again, it just means I have a belief that's perpetuating those choices and those patterns and me attracting those kinds of relationships into my life or situations in my life. So if I want that to be different, it comes back to the PSYCH-K question. What do I want instead? Well, I want to have, mutually respectful relationships, harmonious relationships, love and committed relationships. So very often, if we think about where we're starting with what we don't want, like this is not happy, this is not comfortable, very much in PSYCH-K, we then ask, well, what do you want? So we shift away from the don't want and move towards what it is that we do want. And in horsemanship terms, what I'll talk about with people is, if I were riding a horse or teaching someone to ride a horse, we always say, look where you're going, look where you want to go. And in PSYCH-K, we talk about that too. So in horseman, if I look back towards what I want to get away from, the horse will turn around and go back that way. So wherever I'm looking at, wherever I'm focusing my inner compass toward, that's the clue I'm giving to my subconscious mind to take me there. But if I want to move away from, I don't want angry relationships. I don't want one-sided relationships. I don't want to be unhappy. I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't want to be taken for granted. All what I don't want. Okay. But what do you want? So sometimes the very first thing we work with is, I know what I want, or it's safe for me to know what I want, or I'm allowed to know what I want, or I allow myself to decide or choose or focus on what I want. So that sometimes can be the very first thing we start with. But once we're able to turn to the direction of where we do want to go to, that's even just doing that is a beautiful step, even without doing the balance process. If people can make that change in their lives, to be able to say, oh yeah, I'm stuck here. Yeah, but what do I want instead? That. Okay. So when I turn here and I focus on the beauty, the feelings, the senses, the textures of this part, of this path, then it's amazing how this becomes less prominent. And now I'm putting my attention and my focus there. But where PSYCH-K comes in, now that we know this is where we want to go, like I said earlier in one of our other discussions, PSYCH-K aligns our conscious dreams and goals with our subconscious beliefs and programs. So now that I know what I want, I'm going to make sure that my subconscious mind holds that it's got it in the database. Sometimes what I'll say to people when I'm teaching is, think of a belief as if you go to the grocery store or you go to the market or the store, there's a barcode on the shoes you want to buy or the groceries you want to buy, and you scan it. And if that barcode is in the system, which the system is your subconscious mind, if the barcode is there, then ping, and you just put it into your bag, and off you go. You keep putting everything in. But when you come across something, the barcode, aka the belief, is not in the subconscious mind, then it goes bing, 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 and all the red lights go off. It's like, hang on, doesn't compute. So that's when we have just found something that doesn't live in the database, that hasn't been stored or recorded there. That file isn't in our computer. So what we do now is the PSYCH-K process, and then we scan again, ding, got it. So healthy, beautiful, loving relationships, not there. And now we do the PSYCH-K balance. Oh, healthy, beautiful, loving relationships. I now have the belief that I live there, that I deserve that I attract that I accept that I nurture that. And then it's incredible how the relationships around us start to shift and change. Even though we don't do something to anybody else, Wayne Dyer has this beautiful quote where he says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So sometimes parents come and they want me to fix their kids because they're behaving badly, they're not doing well enough in school, whatever it might be. And I'll expedite my explanation, but I'll be much more tender and gentle with, but just for here and now, it's about, okay, well, I can't fix your child, your students, your kids, your colleagues, your boss, whoever, your partner, your husband, whoever it might be. But if you were to change the way you think about them, if you were to change the way you look at them, so what is it about their behavior that annoys you? Oh, well, they always leave their clothes, or they don't study enough and they're too lazy, whatever it might be. So then we can transform our perception of stress around their behavior, number one, which is amazing how that frees us up. But then also I can balance for seeing them as doing their best, seeing them as like, what can I learn from my child's behavior? Okay. So when I change how I see them, instead of them being, belligerent, I see them as being, oh, they have really healthy boundaries around authority. Okay. So if I change my perception around what I see, very often their behavior changes in result of my change of perception. It's really quantum, when we think about it from a quantum mechanics perspective, the observer effect. So when I look at something, if I'm looking at I can see it as a particle or a wave. So when I adjust my focal length on my camera, do I see my son or daughter as misbehaving, or do I see them in a different light? When I change the way I see them, it's incredible how they, in fact, change because I'm not seeing them in the same way. It's a very interesting way of thinking about things from a quantum perspective. So when I come back to the idea of relationships, the other thing that's really important to consider is every relationship is teaching me about the relationship I have with myself. So when I'm struggling, when I see someone bullying or experiencing someone as bullying or having unrealistic expectations or putting their thumb down and saying this has to be done by this time, there's just the expectations are too big, then I might think to myself, okay, where am I being too hard on myself? Where am I expecting too much of myself? Where am I acting out because I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed? So then I do the balances again for myself. And when I change my internal environment, it's amazing how the world, the external environment, isn't ruffling my feathers anymore, or new opportunities or invitations get opened into new kinds of relationships, or how the relationships that I'm currently in start to transform as well. So many examples that I could share in the relationship realm. And here's the other thing. We're in relationship with everything. Everything is about relationship with people, yes, but relationship with health, with power, with creativity, with money, with success. We are in relationship with everything. So how we do relationships is really how we do everything. One of the beautiful aspects of the PSYCH-K process is, we talked earlier about the three aspects of mind, the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious mind. There is a safety mechanism really built into all PSYCH-K processes where if our conscious mind decides it wants chocolate ice cream and we balance, we create a statement around chocolate ice cream, we're going to always check to see if it's safe and appropriate in the context of our lives. This is built into the PSYCH-K balance processes. We check to see for that. And if it's not, then we can't force the chocolate ice cream into our life. It's quite amazing. So there's a part of the structure of every balance we do is checking for the appropriateness of the chocolate ice cream at this time and place in our life. And if it's not good for us at that time, we will not be given the green light to go ahead and do the balance.
有没有一个信念在限制你呢？如果改变能既轻松又快速，你会迎来什么新的人生呢？关于导师的10月线上工作坊详情，請見下方連結。
如果你都想體驗1對1嘅PSYCH-K諮詢，歡迎 DM 聯絡我。多謝你收睇，下一集再見。